What up, weirdos? It's your boy Rain Drop, Rain Dog, Rain Drizzle, and my co-host, co-captain, Cult Conspirator, Uncle Juju.
What is up, babies?
How's everybody doing? Welcome back to BXTV, aka Back from Hell, your Spotify and YouTube podcast where you didn't know everything you needed to know. And welcome to the horror spooky season. You know what I'm saying? I'm very excited to cover some things tonight that revolve around the spooky season, because we're not far off from October, and also a legend also just dropped a comic book series, R.L Stine. So our comic book of the week is not Goosebumps, R.L Stine's Graveyard Club #1 from Boom Studios. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited to jump into that. And then we're going to cover 2 shows as well. I'm sure you guys know what they are. We're going to do Agatha All Along, the first 2 episodes, and then we're going to we're going to do that first to stick with the spooky theme, and then we're going to cover the first episode of The Penguin on Max with Colin Farrell, because that was fucking absolutely amazing. Spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Like, I was mad that there wasn't 2 episodes of that. And you know what I mean? Like, I immediately wanted fucking more. I was like, fuck, man. Like, I might even rewatch it tonight. Like, it was that fucking good. But yeah, Graveyard Club #1, that released this past Wednesday. It's R.L Stine on the writing, and the artist is Carola Borelli. I'm not sure how to say it. Carola. Carola. I just spelt it for you.
Corolla. Borelli.
Corella Borelli. Either way, it's 96-ish. It's 96 pages. It's a long one, and it's $9.99 if you bought it in stores, and if you bought it online, it's about $3.99. So there's a $6 difference if you bought it digitally or paper. I love the square bound thick. It's like a trade paperback size. You know what I mean? Like, it's quite big, and I thought it was awesome. I read it out in my hammock today at like 3 in the afternoon. It's fucking awesome. Got me right in the mood for Halloween. And literally the description of it is the Breakfast Club that hangs out in a graveyard in a town that's filled with graveyards. And that is exactly what it is. It's a bunch of teenagers who are kind of outcasts and misfits in this small town that's surrounded by graves. Like, there's literally graveyards surrounding this town, and they hang out in this one after dark, because pretty much everything after 6:30 is closed. So they all go to this graveyard and hang out. And that's like the primary basis of it, but all I want to say real quick is that it's for 12 and up, but I think anybody can read this. I mean, it's not super fucking scary, and it's not like gory or anything. It's just very well written, and it's just like cliffhanger after cliffhanger, and like you're trying to figure out the plot, and R.L Stine does such a good job of like you really not knowing what the fuck is going on in the best way. Like, you know what's going on, but like you don't know who's doing what. And I think that was like my favorite part, was just that like I had no clue. I didn't see the end coming at all, so I was like, all right, dude, like maybe you did cook here a little bit.
I loved exactly like you said. I love the twisted turns. I love the fact that it also felt like a perfect example of escalation of events. Like, it starts off with something relatively minor, a punch, or somebody threw a backpack, somebody threw a basketball or whatever, and it just escalates into this like
like chaos.
Pure chaos. Yeah.
In this small little town, and like, well, I mean, like, there like gore, and it's not like gore like you're saying. Like, there's like a dead body, there's like a decaying body, but it's not like it was like dug up. We'll get into it, but I get what you're saying though. It definitely, like, the escalation of it oh, it was just
Yeah.
like holy fuck. And like you said, after each prank, it just like escalated like bigger and bigger and bigger, and it was just like, damn, bro, okay, like, and all the characters, like, he does such a good job at making like the Graveyard Club kids like all real likable for the most part, you
Yeah.
know, and he kind of gives you background on them all. So in the 96 pages you read, so you know who, like, like who two of them really are, like two or three of them,
Yeah.
and I won't spoil too much, but it may, and then like the small town cop happens to have a son who's a big ass bully, and
Yeah.
he
And
makes
he's
he
also kind of a piece of shit too.
yeah,
You
so
know?
he does a real good job at writing them in to just be real fucking assholes and like unlikable. So, you really start to like these Graveyard Club kids even more because you're just like, oh, everybody around them is just dicks. Like,
Yeah.
but I loved it, man. Even the art, cause Corella, whatever, Borelli, she
Yes.
one thing that I saw that she worked on that like in this book stood out to me is like she's worked on Archie books or a line of
Okay.
Archie books, and I was like, this kind of does feel like a teenage,
Yeah, it does have yeah.
like a more like real life, I guess, like small town Archie. Like,
Yes.
it feels like a Netflix show. Like I can already see it. I can already
Mhm.
see it happening. You know what I mean?
Dude, honestly, dude, I was reading this and like the nostalgia factor for me was like we didn't hang out in a local graveyard, but we did go out into the woods at night to drink beer and smoke and do
Yeah,
God
hundred
knows what,
percent,
you
a
know?
hundred
So it's
percent.
totally just like, yeah, and unfortunately in a town where there's nothing but graveyards, the only place to hang out is
Well,
voila,
they
the
explain it.
graveyard,
They explain it too that like, they're like, you might think it's weird we hang out in a graveyard, but like growing up as kids, this was the only place we had to play. So like over the years, we just got more and more comfortable hanging out at a graveyard, and like now we just meet up here every night. So I
Yeah.
mean, and just what real quick, I don't really want to spoil a whole lot. I want people to read this and really enjoy it. The twists and turns with the antagonist, like the real
Yeah.
antagonist, holy fuck, man, you're gonna love it. Like you're not gonna see it coming, and it's just like this dude is however years old, R.L. Stine, and he hasn't missed a beat. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what was the other thing called? The more gory
Um,
adult theme book he does. I have issue
all right,
one.
let me skip to the spot. Stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, Stuff and Nightmares. I read issue one of that. That was really good. So if you want a more adult themed R.L. Stine series, read Stuff of Nightmares. He
Yeah,
like for a comic book, he's cooking on all ends, and like that art is also
yeah,
very good. I just like I don't know why I stopped picking that up. I just saw I got like a ratio cover for issue one of it,
yeah.
and I just loved the cover, and it being R.L. Stine, I had to grab it, and I just like forgot to pick up the rest. But I'm definitely gonna pick up the rest of uh whatever Graveyard Club.
Um, Stuff Graveyard Club. Yes.
I'm debating
Um,
though, real quick. I am
sure.
debating. I would like to have. Nah, I'm gonna do it. I was debating if I should get all the all the paper copies or if I should get it online because it's way cheaper. But low key, I get if you get a pull box at Velocity Comics in Richmond, you get a discount. So
Yes. I think you should go that route because this is going to be something worth holding on to. I feel like. Um, it's funny that we're talking about R.L. Stine because the other day I think you tweeted at me, you texted me, somebody talking about Salem's Lot about how
yeah,
like it's like I can read 200 pages and like nothing happens. I honestly think, in my opinion, R.L. Stine might be the better writer, and I'll tell you why.
Then Steve,
Steve King,
yeah.
Steve King had some serious stinkers in his writing career. R.L. Stine has never missed a beat ever in his
Yeah.
entire career. He stayed in his fucking lane and came out with some of the craziest, most outlandish shit ever that is still producing media. King has, his greats, but he also has his not so greats and even some of his what the fuck was this, you know? So, in my honest opinion, if somebody ever asked me, R.L. Stine is better than Steve King, hands down.
I mean, at what he
Not
does.
just career wise. Yeah.
At what he does, yes. I mean, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I just think it's hard to compare them because literal R.L. Stine's Twitter bio says, "My job to terrify children."
The children.
Like, so I mean, I can't really you know what I mean? Like, it's just hard to compare because they do two completely different things. Like, I've never read a Stephen King novel because I don't read novels really. You know, I'm a comic guy.
Yeah.
So I've watched a lot of Stephen King movies, and I can also say he has some greats and he
Yes.
has some
Yes.
stinkers.
Stickers.
You know, like it. So I don't think you're completely wrong because I'm like, yeah, man. Like some of his like movie adaptations aren't even that great. Like,
Yeah,
like
no.
it's just like I don't know though, man. Like I think everybody, if you're trying to get in the spooky season, if you like Archie stuff, or you
Yeah.
just like, teen horror, get this book. It's fun. It's a little
Oh
fun
yeah.
little like horror mystery, like whatever. And I think there's gonna be some crazy turns coming out because I
Oh.
mean, it's I don't want to ruin it, but okay, spoiler alert. If you're trying to read the book, pause or skip ahead. You know what I mean? Pause,
Yeah.
read it, come back, or skip ahead and listen to this later.
I'm gonna go ahead and just put a all around spoiler on this episode of Brain Dead. If you have not watched Agatha, if you have not watched The Penguin, if you have not read this book, stop. Stop right now. Come
Yeah,
back to it. Come back
yeah,
to us in a few hours.
yeah. You know what I mean? Because we're about to talk. Definitely on the TV ones, because I have the Penguin
Yeah.
and Agatha. I have some real big thoughts because I've been doing some thinking and I just watched The Batman fully, like,
Yeah.
this past week. So, like, it was like that. I loved it. I love that I watched it, like, a day before I watched The Penguin because it was like that movie ended and then it just continued. You know what I
It
mean?
just continue. Yeah.
But,
It's like you got a television sequel.
yeah, so, Graveyard Club. I think the second book with 96 pages being involved, I think it's going to get real crazy because the antagonist from book one is captured at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So something real weird is probably going to go down now that he's gone. And it
Yeah.
might still
And
involve him, like maybe something happens at the jail, like whatever. But that's all I wanted to say is that I think with the antagonist being captured in the first book, or at least
um
that story's antagonist.
I honestly think there's something more to that kid,
Ta-
to that guy,
oh, okay.
to that guy, because when he explains his plan, um the one detail that stood out to me that was like, okay, something's not normal here was getting hit in the face with the basketball. Like the force needed to break the nose was like, okay, because they all thought it was, Captain
Yeah, yeah,
Dickface.
yeah, yeah.
I'm using aliases for characters. So like, if you read the book, you know who I'm talking about.
100%.
Um so I think there's something with that. There's something going on with the kid that he's not revealing yet. You
Okay.
know.
Yeah, all right. All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to find out in a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Which I'm excited. Also, I'm hoping that he goes October theme for the next book, being that it should be released in October.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that a lot of comic books are going to like dive into that come October. So, I'm hoping, I like that. I like when they
Yeah.
kind of like stick with like, oh, it's in
For this season.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
in time. But yeah, man, I give it a 10 for art and story. I give
Yeah.
Graveyard Club a 10. I think it was all
Um,
around banger.
I like how you shouted out the art. I again with the Archie style. I love the simplicity of it. It is not overly complicated when it needs to be. It's very simplistic in its design and character design. Everything you need to know is like visually right there. And they play with that too.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
No,
they
100%.
play with your preconceived
Well, there
notions of these
and
characters.
there's like something weird going on in that town cuz two people in the Graveyard Club's dads disappeared on poker night
Yes,
and never was seen
yes.
again. So, it's
if if you're in an R.L Stine story, don't go play poker.
apparently fucking so, man. Apparently fucking so. But yeah, dudes, make sure you go pick up R.L. Stine's new book, whether it be on Kindle, whatever, or your LCS. But Graveyard Club, definitely worth it. And Stuff of Nightmares is also really good. So shout out R.L. Stine, shout out Boom, shout out everybody who worked on the book. You're all killing
Yes,
it. You're all legends. You know what I'm saying? Especially working with that man. But speaking of spooky Halloween themed stuff, we have Agatha all along, which
yes.
um you know, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think people are gonna shit on this because it is a show probably intended for females,
Hmm.
and people don't like when Marvel makes stuff for females. Like it's just Giga Chad fucking brain mentality. Like I don't know.
If y'all didn't, if y'all didn't hear that eye roll,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Um, I do think though the first episode was a risky take
yes,
because so if you guys aren't aware, Wanda's dead. Agatha, spoilers. It starts off with Agatha as a detective. She's like at a car crash scene. There's a dead body. Blah blah blah. Long story short, find out like it's just really bad acting. Like everybody's
yeah,
being real corny. Like it's super weird. And like it's like, yo, is this
it,
really gonna be the whole show? Like, why is she a detective?
yeah,
Like, what the fuck is going on? And basically, she's been in a spell for 3 years. And it's like the first 15, 20 minutes that like this is like
oh,
going on, and she finally breaks out of the spell, and she's butt ass naked, and from the help of two people that we'll get into. But essentially, though, dude, it was a risky play because everything goes from like corny, cheesy, and weird to like
yeah.
very like TVMA and Cat Cat Catherine Hahn. That's her name, right?
Yes, Catherine Hahn. Hmm.
She immediately falls into that like Catherine Hahn role. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? She's like acting up and acting out of pocket left and right, and she's being
yeah,
funny as shit. Immediately, like I think it immediately picks up on episode 2. I think if you get through the
yes.
first 15 minutes of episode 1, it's very fucking
It's
peak.
very fucking
Like
yes.
like it's awesome, dude. I loved it. I was iffy on that first 15 minutes, and then I realized what they were doing. Because you find out that, like, everybody that you saw that she was talking to was a neighbor that was just playing along with her loony self because she was just walking around screaming, rambling on about random shit because she's in a spell, and they were all just kind of playing along with her.
Yeah.
So, like, when she came to, like, everybody's acting normal, and they're, like, avoiding her because they realize she's back to normal. Because basically, when Wanda dies, she took every version of the Darkhold with her and took all of Agatha's power. Like, she sucked
Okay.
all of her
Yeah.
power dry. And the only way for Agatha to get more power is to go on the witch's road, or
Road.
if she can convince a witch to shoot their power at her, she can drain their power. But the person Aubrey Plaza plays is a witch or something of some sort, and we know they hate each other, but we don't know who she is yet.
Is.
And
Yeah.
Agatha can't take her power because it will kill her. So, and Aubrey Plaza can't kill Agatha technically because of the rules. So, and people online are suggesting that Aubrey Plaza, Rio, Rio Vidal is her name in the show, or whatever. They're suggesting she's Mephisto,
Ooh,
which,
that could be interesting.
yeah, I mean, it could be. Like, I don't, I don't necessarily, I don't know. I mean, possibly. I just like didn't imagine Mephisto to be like so human looking. Maybe that's just a human form.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know.
She's strong as fuck. I mean, she
Something to
straight
think about
blows
it.
her
Yes.
door
Yeah.
down and then whoops her ass almost.
Yeah.
So, but to move along though,
Yeah.
essentially, uh, Agatha gets saved by by Teen. We don't know his name because somebody cursed a
Yeah.
spell on them where they can't say their name, and they have to get a coven together because you need a coven to summon the Witch's Road and go to it. So they go to a seer, or not a seer, some or
Like a fortune
that,
teller.
yeah, fortune teller witch. Who fucking played her, dude?
I
Patty
believe her name is LePon. Yeah, Patty
Lupon.
LePon.
Yeah, Lilia.
Uh, yes, this is not her first road down witchy road. She played the neighbor in American Horror Story Coven.
Okay. Okay, but in this she's
And
actually a witch.
I'm gonna honestly tell you, and this is not the tarot fortune teller juju everybody knows and loves. This is real me talking. I fucking loved her. I thought she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
so fucking funny, and I loved the scene where she walks in and just immediately assumes like a southern like belle with this tragic story of like how they need to find gold in their
Yeah,
house or whatever,
yeah.
and she just buying into it too, like completely like, yeah, I know you're bullshitting, but you know.
Yeah, like, let's fucking do it. No, I thought it was great, dude. Everybody was fun, dude. Like, every witch is fun. Like, and every witch is a different type of witch. Like, there's like a
Yes.
potions witch, which she was super fun and snarky, you know, and like a couple other ones. And then Mrs. Hart, who's Deborah Jo Rupp from That
Yes.
70s Show, Kitty. She's like a plant, like,
Like an earth witch is I
yeah,
think what they call
and I
it.
don't think she like knows she's really like a witch kind of thing. Because when they're
Yeah.
doing the Witch's Road thing, they all are singing the song, and she's like, "Am I supposed to know this
It's
song?"
supposed to know
And then
yeah.
like by the end of the time they're singing it, she's just like, "Yeah, yeah," like thinks it's all fun and fucking games, bro. And then, dude, you meet the Salem Seven that start to come after
Yeah.
Agatha because like the Darkhold magic was protecting her from these people. Apparently, they're creepy as fuck.
Yes. I loved that one image of when the one like robe is coming down the
And
street
it
and
just
then
like
suddenly it's just
expands.
like five. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, like
dude.
that is the type of witchy shit that I am personally just like, okay, that's cool.
And then
Like, all
like
right.
they're doing like the creepy like exorcist walk down the stairs and shit,
Yeah.
dude. Oh my god, yo.
Oh.
What do you think the Witch's
And
Road's gonna be like?
dude, honestly, I'm honestly here for it. I love the fact that it kind of gave me evil Yellow Brick Road vibes. You know, like
Yeah,
instead of going to
yeah.
Oz, you're going to the Infernal City instead of the Eternal City, you know, the Emerald City or whatever. And I love the fact that it's the witches kind of going down the road this time around, you know, and I love the idea of a witch's road that ultimately at the end they can get like whatever they if it's their heart's desire or wish or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever the MacGuffin is. Fucking love that idea. And I love the fact that like the door is not blatantly obvious at
It's
first,
on the
you know.
floor, dude.
Yeah. She starts going off on all of them in the most catty, like,
Yeah,
grand
bitch.
way. Yeah.
No, it was awesome, dude. And then as soon as they get there, she's like, "I had faith in you guys. Never doubted you."
Yeah.
Just like fucking Agatha, dude. Agatha's fun as fuck though, man. She's
Yes.
a very fun character. Like I have no worries that I'll be entertained this whole season.
Yeah. I'm this is the perfect show for the season personally. And the fact that it's it's featuring finally like characters in Marvel that are just kind of overlooked, I feel like, and it's not an overt superhero mashup. It's a little bit more supernatural, more grounded, I feel like,
Yeah,
instead
100.
of being this existential, you know,
Well,
threat
no,
from outside.
it's pretty supernatural. They just walked through a door in the floor,
No,
and
no, I'm
showed
saying
up to
like,
another fucking thing called the Witch's Road in Middle Earth. So, I would say it's pretty far out there, Juju. Like,
yeah, no, 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 but I'm saying like
and
as
I think it's
far
gonna
as
get it
it
even
not being
more.
like space cosmic rays, you know,
No,
robots and shit.
it's.
It's like grounded, you know, like
I don't think
it
grounded's the right
feels.
word, bro. Like they're witches, and they just went through a
Yeah,
magical door in the ground to a place called the Witch's Road, which is a leafy road in the middle of
yeah.
Earth somewhere. Like, I don't think it's very grounded. I think it's just a different
No, no,
version
I'm
of
fine.
out there.
Yeah, it's. I'd say the aesthetic is less celestial and more, like the woods, you know, falling leaves, like you know, dead road, you know, crooked haunted house
Okay.
almost kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
it's
I can
not this
agree with that.
cosmic, you know, superheroes and spaceships and shit. It's on the ground. They have to walk to where they're going. They have like grounded magical rules that like they can either make them, break them, or bend them. You know, um, stuff like that. It's it's the perfect property for females for Marvel in that regard. I think.
No, yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be great. I just hope people give it a shot, and I hope people who just it's not for them don't just shit on it so it doesn't get a season two.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, it's not bad in any sense. Like, that first 15 minutes was risky, but that was it. Like, I don't think anything after that was bad. I think it was all very well played on, and I enjoyed it a lot. So, I
yeah.
think.
I got no complaints about it at all. I think the effects were fucking great too. I love the fight scenes and like the limited fight scenes that they did have were kind of cool. Um, I just love the cast, to be honest. I love
Oh,
Kathy
yeah.
Hahn. Everything she's in is great.
No, 100%. And you see her booty in it, which was crazy. I was very surprised on that. I'm telling you, I love Mrs. Hart, Deborah Rupp. Like, she's fucking
Yes.
funny as shit. I'm I'm looking very much forward to it. I definitely think if you like witches and anything in that nature, uh check it out. You know what I mean? You want something for Halloween
Yeah.
time? Like, let's fucking do it. Let's watch this shit. Let's make sure it gets a second season so next Halloween we have something else to watch. You know what I mean?
Yes. Abs- it's it's the perfect trick or treat movie or show. Sorry. La.
No, 100%. So, I loved it. But speaking of new TV shows that are comic book adapted for the most part, the Batman just got a spin-off series starring Colin Farrell as the Penguin again, and the Penguin on Max.
Yes.
Premieres every Thursday, I believe at 9 or something like that. Uh Holy shit, man. Like they killed that shit. Like
Oh,
it
dude.
starts off
Uh,
literally him looking out the window in the last place he was at the end of the movie. Like that's where he was at the end of the movie. Like he's watching the
yeah.
town flood. Like he's watching Gotham flood.
Flood and God. It honestly, it felt like I forgot I was watching a show.
Yeah.
It felt like a fucking movie, and I gotta say, Colin Farrell again knocked it out of the fucking park. Like in the beginning when he's, we're allowed to talk spoilers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
When he's talking to oh God, Carmine Falcone's son.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, dude, I I know, like I know motherfuckers like this. Like this is holy shit. You you nailed
Yeah,
the like
yeah.
just the Italian gangster fucking chef's kiss, man. Like I don't know. If
It
if he's
gives
got to struggle to get, they got to make that makeup better for him for season two because there's got to be a season two.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, the Batman 2 just wrapped up the script, so that'll probably start filming next year or some shit like that. So, I mean, I think it depends how he ends this off, you know? Like, is this supposed to lead up to the movie, or is it going to be open ended so you can make another season before the movie comes out? Or, like,
Yeah,
what's the deal? But, no, 100%. And I mean, I was not expecting him to shoot his son instantly in the first episode. Like,
yeah,
the new Kingpin of Gotham is now dead, and his daughter wants to kill you now. Like,
yeah. And his daughter went to Arkham for some awful undisclosed fucking shit.
well,
You know, like
she said at dinner, because she has dinner with Cobb. Um,
yeah,
they go to dinner, and she said, "These people are looking at this psycho murderer. Like, how could she be out walking around free?" So she has apparently murdered some people. Like she
yeah.
said that. Like she said that herself. So I'm taking that for face value that she murdered some
Oh
people and went to Arkham
yeah.
and got rehabilitated. Like from what we and I don't think she's very rehabilitated from what we've seen in the show.
No.
And dude,
Again,
Penguin is a
yeah,
fucking genius in this shit. Like he's a conniving motherfucker, dude. Like I it gives such Wire vibes because the amount of like plotting and
yes.
scheming he's doing is just like very like old school mob like he it
Oh,
just it
dude.
gives off like big Goodfella vibes, like you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like this feels like we're watching like a version of The Wire or some shit. So I'm so fucking here for it cuz like from what I read online, the Batman will not appear in this. So they were like, we don't want to ride
Okay.
on, like, we don't want to lean on that. So I'm very excited to see who does show up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
if anybody, like, bad, like, because I mean, they're going to go through all these, like, they're probably going to go through all the families and shit. And, like,
I think so. Yeah, I think. You didn't. You did you watch the coming up or did you skip
yes.
that?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because oh, dude, I think it's gonna just get wild from here. I
Oh,
think
100%.
I think the next episode is gonna be some serious shit we've never seen like put in a Batman TV show. Like I think they're gonna go full
I mean, they
The
already did
Wire.
that. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's gonna get wild, and I I love the fact that Gotham in certain points where they go out into the suburbs where it doesn't feel like that traditional Tim Burton, the Gotham aesthetic that we from the 90s are so accustomed to, the giant statues and shit. And they
Yeah.
just go to a regular house and that looks like the New York suburbs, just like the cities over
I
there and the
believe they're in New
suburbs.
Jersey. I believe Gotham's in New
Yeah.
Jersey in this show.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. And I love the fact that it feels like a real fucking city. Like
Yeah, no,
nothing feels
100%.
like it's set.
No,
You
I
know.
agree. It's very well done. I mean, and it's pulling a lot of people in who haven't even watched the Batman. Like my dad is like, him and my stepmom are gonna watch it once they finish Ozarks, and I'm like, that's so funny,
Yeah.
dude. Like, and you kind of can like they kind of catch you up on
Yeah.
everything in the first couple minutes of like what's going on in Gotham, and then it just rolls from there, and they kind of just explain
Yeah.
everything. So I mean, I definitely think I think everybody should check it the fuck out.
Oh, for sure. I think this is I think this is going to be up there with TV shows like The Wire, The Sopranos. This is going to be one of the HBO greats, like
Oh, 100%, dude. There's like you said, I'm really hoping this isn't just like a one and done season. Like I hope we just get a lot
yeah.
of Ozcov. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. And to be honest with you, I like the fact that James Gunn is kind of letting the Matt Reeves Batman be its own thing and have this expanse, as opposed to just kind of be like, no, it's going to be my vision, like Kevin Feige, and be like, and this and this and this are now done, and this is the new universe. He's
yeah.
kind of like, okay, this property worked, that property worked, we're going to keep this, we're going to keep that, we're going to do this and that. He's very I think the two of them working together would be a right move for Warner Brothers.
Wait, who working together?
Matt Reeves, James Gunn.
Oh yeah. I mean, James Gunn basically was just like, my universe is separate from his. Like, we're both doing our own. He's not the DCEU. He's the Matt Reeves universe.
Reeves, yeah,
That's what that is. So like that's its own complete thing. Like that has nothing to like everything James Gunn's doing is not tied to that at all.
yeah. And I'm saying that like the fact that that is allowed to happen is a good thing. It's a good move on Marvel
Yeah,
or Warner Brothers' part.
nah, for surely. I definitely could agree with that. I mean, it's allowing two greats to coexist, and I mean, uh, I also heard that the Batman will be in the wintertime, so
Yeah,
I'm
that is
I'm very excited for that. I would like to see old Batman in his costume in some snow. You know what I'm saying? It's always
instant
badass
snow.
in
Yeah,
in the comics, so it would be sick to see. But yeah, man, Penguin, it was just like the whole episode, it didn't like the gas, they were just like foot on the brake, you know? I mean, foot on the gas,
yeah.
no brake. That's what I meant to say. Foot on the gas the whole episode. It just kept going up and up and up and up and up and up. And the very end was just like a nice little, like, 2 second. Okay.
And
You also,
one thing
like,
I like.
feel for Oz.
Yeah, one thing that I'm sorry that I'd like to kind of point out is that like um in Gotham, the previous incarnation of the TV show. They did the kind of thing with the penguin's mom, and she's very eccentric and fine. What I liked about this is that they kind of pulled a Sopranos move and said the mom has selective dementia. So he can tell her things and like kind of confess to shit and know that like if she's gonna forget about it later
Yeah.
on if she doesn't take her pills. So it's like she's sharp as a tack, but she's playing up the dementia thing, and I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, no. That was a good little like twist on it. Yeah, I
And it,
love that scene. It was good. It was good. And I think it was very weird that Victor or whatever his name was there watching all this go down. I mean, he's
I honest,
I love that he was there from like pretty much the beginning of the episode
yes,
until the end, and you just like you're literally watching their relationship form, you know, like
form, yeah. And I also love the fact that it's a great way for Oz to explain to the audience what his next moves are because he's talking to his friend
yeah,
or his assistant, I guess
yeah.
would be a way I'd put it. The guy holding the umbrella. So it gives him an insight as opposed to just him being alone and you have to figure it out yourself, you know?
100%. I definitely agree. It was all around a banger, dude. I highly recommend
Yeah.
everybody watch it. They're doing a good thing, you know. It doesn't even feel like a super. It doesn't even feel like you know
No,
it's Batman, but
no.
it feels so real because like it's just a bunch of like crime mob bullshit and like
Yeah.
so. I mean, I don't know, dudes. I definitely recommend you watch it. You got anything else you want to say about it?
Honestly, I think this is probably going to be the next show that I'm excited to watch on Thursdays. You know, like plan to go some. I know that eventually it'll probably be Game of Thrones status where people are watching this in bars and shit. You know,
Maybe,
like
maybe. I mean, we'll
I
see. I definitely think people are gonna talk about this for a long time, though. I don't think this is
yeah
gonna. I think this is gonna be fucking awesome, and they're gonna have to make more of it. Like they're gonna see how
yeah.
well it does and be like, "Well, fuck, bro. Like, what do we do now? Like, everybody wants this shit."
I think it'll honestly shut up a lot of the DC naysayers. You
That
know,
too.
like like and a lot of just the professional haters that are out
I
there
think it'll
because there
bring a
was a
lot of
few
people
things that
into
were fine.
DC because they're gonna see this
Yeah,
show and be like, "Well, fuck, bro. I want to watch the rest of the Matt Reeves universe." Like,
yeah.
so I wonder, we may get more than what we thought out of Matt Reeves Batman wise because of this show. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this might be like the best thing to ever happen for us, low key, like right now.
Yeah.
But fuck, dudes, it's almost 2 a.m. here. And I need to let Juju go. Make sure you watch Agatha. Make sure you definitely watch Penguin though. Like if you're gonna watch
Yeah.
any of them, make sure you watch Penguin. Put the hour aside. It's an hour and 7 minutes, so lock in. Get your joint. Get your burger. Get your beer, whatever it may be, and watch that shit. And
Get your,
remember,
get your spell book out.
yeah, for
Get your
Agatha,
card hold.
yeah.
Yeah.
But don't never forget. Always recommended. Never offended. Later, my dudes. Peace.
Sure.